Today I'm going to be going over all the secrets that I found and that you guys have helped me find in the new 0.13.1 Bloxburg Halloween update. Starting off with cotton candy now sits on a stand when placed. So if I was to go in my inventory and grab some cotton candy, and then I were to place it on the ground, it now has like a little stand that it stands on, so it's not like laying on the ground or on the table, which I think is awesome because then you can put like rows of these in your shop to have like a display of your cotton candy. And then in build mode, just like you can with plates, you can go ahead and color the base. Oh, and you can also color the cotton candy, which is cool. I didn't realize you could do that. And then on to number 2, staying in the food category, the Witch's Brew has been moved. As you can see, the Witch's Brew is no longer at BFF Supermarket. It is now only available over at Sabrina Snacks. As you can see here, I can buy a Witch's Brew. The third secret on my list, it's not really as much of a secret because it is in the update log, but the quick meals is now a scrollable list. And just in case you missed it, we do have 3 new foods. We have these Witch Hat cookies, this ghost vanilla milkshake, and then also a bag of candy corn. And a little trick to stocking up on the limited foods, you can go ahead and just press this event icon on the right side of your screen, and you can go ahead and press go to event plot, and then you'll be teleported right here. We can go ahead and run over either to the barn or to Sabrina Snacks. And let's just say you were wanting to stock up on Witch's Brew. You could come here and you could get a tray of Witch's Brew, and then you can simply press the house icon and then this house with the arrow, and this will teleport you back to your house. So you don't have to drive back and forth. You can just teleport to the event plot and then teleport back to your house, and you'll keep the tray of food in your hand. So see, I still have the tray of food. Now I'm back at my plot, and I can go ahead and store all the Witch's Brew. The fourth secret is that the beach decorations have been removed, which they get removed in the fall update every year. So if you've been playing for more than a year, it's not really a whole lot of a secret, but if this is your first year, the beach decorations have been removed. The other thing is that around the map, it's kind of funny. You can find a bunch of floating leaf piles like this one right here. So I just wanted to include that because that's something I thought was kind of funny. Secret number 5 is there is now a new server leaderboard. So when the update released, we had this global leaderboard so you can see who has the most tickets in all of Bloxburg. But then recently they added the server leaderboard so you can see who has the most tickets in just the server you're in, which I think is awesome. I'm really glad that they added that. Also, one thing to note is that you can't buy your way up the leaderboard, nor can you buy your way towards the trophy. So these 25,000 tickets that you have to earn to get the trophy, and all the tickets on the leaderboard, those were actually earned through trick-or-treating. So if you buy tickets from the shop, they won't count towards the leaderboard or towards your progress to getting the trophy. Also, your tickets earned and your tickets on the leaderboard include the tickets that you've spent. So as you can see, I have 7,960, but over on the leaderboard and on this progress bar, I have 7,985. And that's because I bought one thing with 25 tickets to kind of test it out. So even though I bought that thing, those 25 tickets are still being counted towards the trophy and the leaderboard, which is awesome. So you can go ahead and buy all the things you want, and you don't have to worry about like losing progress towards getting the trophy. Also, just want to quickly touch on how tickets work because I've gotten a lot of comments of people kind of unsure about how it works and kind of confused. So to earn tickets, you can go ahead and walk up to anybody's mailbox and there'll be this cauldron here. You go ahead and click it and you can press claim. And as you can see, that will give me 25 tickets. And when somebody comes to your house and trick-or-treats from your cauldron, you will get 10 tickets for every single person that takes candy from your cauldron, which I think is just awesome. There's also a 5-minute cooldown, so if I were to click this, it would say check, and it tells me how long left I have on my cooldown, and since I just claimed it, that's still 5 minutes. But when it's ready to be claimed again, there will be candy back in the bowl, and there will be an exclamation mark that's yellow, and it'll be glowing to show you very clearly that the candy is ready to be claimed again. And the next handful of secrets have to do with build mode. The first one is that if you were to go and click on the pumpkin, as you can see, the noob lantern costs 50 tickets, but you can actually get this for $50 instead. If you go ahead and buy the pumpkin and go ahead and place that down, if you then walk over to it, you can press carve, and you can press the noob lantern, and you will be spending negative $20. And so what that means is when I click on this, as you can see, it just gave me $20 back. So instead of paying 50 tickets, you actually pay $70 and then get $20 back. So in total, you pay $50, and we now have a noob lantern, and it's really quick. It barely takes any time to carve it at all. So that is a way to get the noob lantern with money instead of tickets. The next little secret, I wanted to include this because you would kind of only know about it if you read the description or if you want to interact with it, but the new candelabra, you can go ahead and click on it and press take. So not only can you like turn it on and off and have it be like as a centerpiece on your table, but you can go ahead and pick it up and walk around with it, which I think is so cool. There are also 3 new materials that weren't mentioned in the update log, so I want to include them. The first one is irregular stones. The second one is Capitone tough fabric, and the third one is this fall pumpkin. So there we go. We now have 3 brand new textures. Also, this pumpkin one is limited for Halloween only, but what you can do to use this texture all year round is go ahead and like in the back of your plot, for example, go ahead and just place a wall or maybe a basic shape or some sort of object. In fact, you can go ahead and do a basic shape so it's nice and small and doesn't like take away from your build. And this could be anywhere on your plot, but basically you just need to have something using this fall pumpkins texture. And then I believe you can use this then anytime throughout the year if you go ahead and just click on this when you're coloring. So then you can use this texture all year round, but you do have to have this basic shape or whatever you color. You have to have that on every plot that you want to be able to use the texture. There's also a brand new icon that shows which items are limited to Halloween only. It is this jack-o'-lantern here with a witch hat, And so any items that have that icon are only here for Halloween and will go away as soon as the Halloween update goes away. And the next secret is an awesome secret, and that's that any garland that you have in your inventory, you no longer now have to place it like this. You can now use custom placement and drag it as far and as long as you want for free. And this works for any garland. So if you've already spent the money on it, like this $165 that I paid for just this piece, I can now actually extend this and have it be as long as I want with no extra charge, which is just amazing. That is awesome. The other thing is that any of these items that cost tickets, if I were to place it down, even though it's Halloween time, I can no longer sell it for money. Since they now cost tickets, they are now permanently in your inventory. So unless I use all of these on plots, these are now permanently stuck in my inventory, which is kind of a bummer, but I also see why they did it, because otherwise I'd be able to sell these for just a bunch of tickets. And then I also understand that we also wouldn't be able to sell it for money, because then we could basically buy items with tickets and then sell them for money. So I understand, but it is a little bit of a bummer. Another thing to note is when you're buying ticket items, they act like Bloxburg items. So for example, if I were to put down a potion bottle, and then I were to either color it or exit build mode, if I now go to sell this potion bottle, I will not get tickets back, it will go in my inventory, which I don't really like at all, and I understand again why they had to do it, because again, we could just go in our inventory and like sell a bunch of stuff. But what's not fun about that is then every single time I want a new cauldron, I can't just copy and paste it. That would spend tickets. I'd have to go into my inventory, find the item that got put back in my inventory, place it again, recolor it to the color I want it, and then if items could be scaled, you have to rescale them or retransform them, and so that's not very fun. Building out of your inventory is never really fun, and so I wish there was a solution. And maybe the solution is just simply, if you have an item in your inventory and you go to build with it, it takes it from your inventory first until you run out, or maybe that's a setting you can turn on, or even just subcategories in your inventory so you can tell the difference between butterflies and Halloween items and Christmas items, just so that I'm not like sorting through this mess of items to try to find what I'm looking for, and I don't have to like search up what I want every single time. So I hope something like that will come soon, because that will make the building experience so much more nice, because building with the inventory items is just kind of painful. But then the next thing is that you can actually get the animatronics for free, and they're actually very cheap. You can get all 3 of these animatronics with just 2,000 to 2,500 tickets, which is pretty easy to get. It doesn't actually take that long to get 2,000 tickets. So these items that used to cost Bloxburg, you can now get for free if you go and grind some tickets, which I think is awesome. So you don't have to spend Bloxburg on those items anymore. We can have as many as we want as long as we grind for those tickets, and it's the same thing with the locked animatronics as well. And then also all of the TV channels have been decorated for Halloween. As you can see, here's the news channel that has some witch hat lights and also some Halloween treats, and then same with Let Him Cook with Gordon Radish. As you can see in the background, there's some fallen Halloween decorations. On the unicorn show, there are some spider webs on like the curtains here. The Yule log doesn't have anything, and then the last channel, the colors were just changed for fall, which I think is awesome. They did the same thing for Christmas last year, so it's really cool that they did that for Halloween as well. Also, really quickly, I want to throw this in here. One of you guys commented telling me that you can rescale the gargoyle, and so sure enough, you totally can. You can make it a teeny tiny gargoyle or a massive gargoyle, which I think is just awesome. Like, how cool is it that you can have a gargoyle this size on your plot? I think that's so cool. But those are all the secrets surrounding build mode. The next secrets have to do with neighborhoods. Bloxburg added a patch a little bit ago, and in that patch, they added some new festive names. I don't know all of them, but for example, like Halloween is here. You can also get trick-or-treating. Those names did not used to be there, which is amazing. So there are some festive names. I don't know exactly what all of the new ones are, but it makes it really easy so you can now join neighborhoods that are like specifically for trick-or-treating, for example, which I think is awesome. And then this next kind of secret I want to include in case you were confused like I was. If you did the Halloween quest last year and you walk up to Sabrina, even though she has an exclamation mark above her head, if you were to press talk, as you can see, she just asks if you want to buy anything. She won't let you do the quest. And that is because, unfortunately, if you did the quest last year, you can't do it again this year on the same account. You'd have to get an alt to do it again, which is definitely pretty unfortunate, but you can do all of the quests in a row. So for those of you who didn't do it last year, you can go ahead and do it by talking to Sabrina. I actually have a video on my channel that goes through all of the quests, so if you are stuck on one or would like a guide to walk you through the quests, I'll link that video in the description as well as put a card in the top right corner. And then I also just wanted to really quickly include this in case you were not here last year, but if you go to this cauldron over behind Sabrina's snacks, you can actually put some items in the cauldron and they make potions that give you effects. So for example, putting this baby rattle in, if I were to now drink the potion it gave me, it makes me take off my head for a minute, which is kind of cool. And then you can also put a light source in, and if you drink that potion, it'll turn your screen black and white. And if you try to make too many potions too quickly, it will give you this prompt that says too hot, the cauldron is too hot, wait for it to cool down. But you can kind of explore with all the items. If you do multiple light sources, I'm pretty sure it goes from black and white to like negative colors, if that makes sense, like oranges and blues and stuff like that. And then it gets like dark red. It does some pretty crazy things. Like here, I'll go ahead and show you if I drink another one of those light source potions. Now my screen is orange and blue. And then again, if you keep drinking it, it'll get like red and it gets pretty crazy. And then also if you were to put these reading glasses in the cauldron, cauldron, and then you were to drink that potion, it makes you go invisible kind of, which is really cool. And I'm more visible because of the effects on my screen. You would be more invisible if you didn't have these effects, but you can kind of play around. I think there's a few more things you can do. If you use some random items, like probably a stuffed animal, it'll change the color of your skin. But you can go ahead and play around with that. There's some really cool fun effects that make Bloxburg go pretty crazy. So if you want to play in Bloxburg like this, orange and blue, you totally can. And all of the effects do reset within a few minutes, so I'll go back to normal in just a couple of minutes. But then finally, for the very last secret of this video, there are a bunch of new ambient sounds. So in almost every single building, every single area of the map, there are new ambient sounds. I'm gonna go ahead and play a bunch of those for you, but I won't be talking so that you can hear the sound effects because they're not super loud, and I'll be right back after that. Another, I don't know if you would consider this secret, but like I've seen a lot of people talking about this, and some of you guys even commented this on the community post where I asked you for secrets, and that is that Tom is missing from the thumbnail. And so then there's theories that Susan did something with Tom, since the furniture store is very quiet. And then also in City Hall behind these doors, this writing popped up a few months ago that says Dom was here. And we don't know who Dom is yet, so some people are thinking that Dom is on the cover, and that secretly the house behind Dom is Tom's, and he's the one passing out candy, and he's like disguised, and that Dom has like something to do with Tom not being on the cover. So I just wanted to throw these like theories in here that people have. It's possible there's lore, because Bloxburg has said they want to do more of it, and they've done stuff like that before. Last Halloween update we had lots of lore, but it's also very likely that they're just trying to test out putting other people other than Tom on the thumbnail to see how it does, you know, so that Tom isn't always on the thumbnail, kind of shake things up a bit, and then it just opens that up for the future for other characters, and just kind of moves away from people feeling like Bloxburg is the same old game that it was like a bunch of years ago, because Tom is still on the cover and he always is, you know? And when it comes to Fancy Furniture isn't actually the only store that has like no sound at all. Dolls doesn't really have sound either, so I don't think Susan did anything. If anything, it's more to say that Fancy Furniture doesn't get any customers. It's more of like a joke that it's silent because nobody ever comes. But it never hurts to do a little bit of theorizing, especially since, again, Bloxburg did say in their Q&A that they want to add more lore in the future. Well, anyways, those were all of the secrets in the brand new 0.13.1 Halloween update. Of course, these are all of the secrets that I've found so far and that you guys have helped me find, so if you come across any others, it's very possible that we've missed some, then definitely let me know down below in the comments. And as always, if you enjoyed, thumbs up the video, consider subscribing, and have a wonderful spooky season.